Oh, hi, Sunday. Peloton. Can you guys hear me?
Here, hello.
Okay, hello.
Hi, Alberto. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning. We are we are live now.
Great.
So, you ready?
Right here, we're ready.
Okay. Yeah. Just let me check with Irina. Irina, are we ready? Can we start? Let me check with my my team on backstage just to confirm that we can start off. Irina, can you hear me? Okay. So let's start off. So I'd like to welcome everyone on the session. So today we we're gonna discuss a very important topic. We're gonna discuss about the importance to have a theme, a security and event management system. And for that, we have today as a speaker, Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sunday is CEO of SM FSM is a cybersecurity partner company based in Nigeria. And second speaker, we have Mr. Babatund. Mr. Babatund is cybersecurity consultant at SM system as well. So for everyone on the session, feel free to ask any question. But if you have any question, please drop your question in the chat below. And after the session, if you'd like to learn more about the system that we are going to present today, feel free to contact CyberSecure or anyone in this session, and we can set up a separate presentation session for you as well. So let's begin with Mr. Sunday. Mr. Sunday, so the stage is all yours.
Great, great. Thank you very much, everybody, and good morning. I know it's the same time in Nigeria. I appreciate this opportunity to be here with your team. Thank you to the team at CyberSecure for having us, on this platform. And thank you for everyone, that has joined from Angola and those that will be joining very shortly. Just like Alberto stated, if you have any questions, please put in the chat window. There is a chat window for this webinar platform that you can put your questions in. And I'll be running through, some few slides. The major action will be in the demo, which my colleagues Baba Tunde will take up, right after my presentation. So maybe like 6 to 10 slides just to put into perspective what the Seceon platform does. So once again, thank you everyone. So why are we here? We are here to introduce the Seceon AI SIM security platform to organizations like yourself in Angola. Why do we need a modern SIM? Right? We need a modern SIM basically for, security compliance. But for now, SIM has been known to be, a compliance tool, but because of the volume of cyber attacks, the threats, the risk. Every organization requires a central platform that is able to get information to know what is going on in terms of threat detection and to also be able to respond as quickly as possible. That is the security side of it. We also have the compliance side of it because various regulations are coming in now to make sure we demonstrate responsibility in terms of how we secure our customers environment or customers data, or organizations secure their own data. So regulators become like PCI DSS, ISO, or local regulations in the country, in the banking sector, or in other other verticals, to say we have to demonstrate compliance to these particular regulations that affect your industry. So how do you show those auditors that you're actually doing what you're supposed to do? So again, that's what Modern SIEM will give you and all of that. But beyond that, you really want to make sure you have an eye into what is going on in the environment. How quick can you detect a threat? How quick can you neutralize that threat? And how quick can you respond to that threat without overwhelming you as an organization? So this is what a Modern SIEM does. And with the Seceon platform, Seceon is a platform which I believe is not something you might have seen before, unlike other solutions, right? Other solutions comes with a solutions approach, which means for you to build a security operations center, for you to manage your security operations, apart from the processes and the people, you require a whole lot of technologies, a whole lot of them, laundry list of technologies. So when you have a solutions approach to your security operations, you have the mindset to keep buying all these tools. You buy a SIEM, you buy EDR, you buy Uber, you buy all kind of tools. The problem is you don't have the money. Even the United States, government will tell you that they don't have enough money to buy everything. And when you struggle to have enough money to buy anything, you don't have people to do that. So you need a platform that incorporates these features to an extent, and very, very important, that leverage AI and machine learning to be able to sieve. That is, to be able to let you deal with what matters and not just all this gamut of alerts that overwhelmed everybody. Remember, we don't have the time to respond. The bad guys are doing stuff at a very, very frantic and frenetic pace. So we, as the defenders, we don't have time in our hands. Always remember this. As an attacker, all they need to succeed is just one chance. As a defender, we have to be on our toe every time. So how can we do this without leveraging AI? And that is what the Modern SIEM that Seceon produces for you. When you compare us with other solutions, so the fact is, Seceon is not the only vendor in this space. I believe a whole lot of vendors also claim to offer what we offer. However, where Seceon is different is in this differentiation. While other solutions will give you something similar, but at a different price, at an additional price, we're giving you the same in a single package rather. Okay. So in this, we're very affordable. And that is why you see over 300 MSSP across the world, and also over 8,000 now. This slide is actually old. We have close to 8,200 customers right now across the globe. In Africa, we have close to 50 or plus. In Nigeria, most of the big banks, they are actually with us. In fact, as I speak to you now, the largest bank in Nigeria, we have started a POV, and one of the other banks, which is as big as the largest bank, and coincidentally, they have a branch in Angola. We are starting the POV for Seceon very shortly. They've been running with a particular SIEM for 3 years. They weren't happy with it, and they heard what Seceon is doing, so they want to try us out. So that bank, is coming in. And for everyone on the call, I will recommend that, we're going to be showing you some things that, you might find a little bit is too good to be true. Please reach out to Alfonso, Arena, and the team so that we can arrange for a POV for you. It is better you see it in your own environment than just seeing, what you're talking about. So we want to really push for that so that you can do it in your environment and see what we're offering. So how do we do exactly what we do? Why are we different compared to others? We are taking telemetry from all of your infrastructure. We're taking DNS logs, we're taking firewall logs and VPN logs, we're taking net flow. This is the game changer. Most of the SIM or all of the SIM that you will see in the market, they make emphasis on logs. All right. But we as Seceon, we said no, not only logs, you have to get flows. While logs will give you historical data of what has happened, logs gives you historical data of what has happened. Flow is going to tell you what is going on now without the risk of encryption. So when you get network traffic, you have encrypted network traffic. How do you decrypt this to let the SIM to analyze that? It's a big, big problem. So what we have done is to say, while you don't need to get the raw traffic in, get the flows. So you get the flows from the firewall. You get the flows from maybe your router or something like that. With that flow, with the machine learning, we are able to understand what is going on. We are able to see anomalous traffic that is, we have a baseline. And from this baseline, we see what is deviating from the other one, and we're able to, with also enrichment with threat intelligence. We have threat intelligence enrichment with the DNS logs we are picking, DHCP logs we are picking. We're also picking logs from your EDRs. If you don't have an EDR, we have an EDR that we can also put in. And all of this will come together into our big data platform, which we now leverage AI and ML to be able to dissect what is going on. And with these, we have the capacity to also ingest the logs from your cloud infrastructure. So let's say you have workloads in Azure, Office 365, for instance, Azure AD, you have workloads in AWS and all of that. We are able to use a single platform to get all these logs and all these flows into our platform. And again, another big one is that we're not going to charge you based on EPS or based on the bandwidth. That's what folks like Splunk, okay, I don't want to call them now, all the guys they do. And that is why they will tell you that, oh, don't bring everything. Don't bring everything in. We're saying bring everything because we are not going to put a cap on you. All right. We want comprehensive security, like we always say, comprehensive security for the digital era, both north, south, and east, west. So if you don't bring everything, you don't have visibility. And remember, you cannot secure what you don't even know exists. So that is where we say bring everything, your logs, your flows. We have the capacity to apply, enrichment, and from there we are able to dictate in real time. And of course, we can do elimination of threats in real time via our integrated SOAR. So you have this particular technology has a lot of capabilities of solution. You have the threat intelligence in it. You have the UA bar in it. You have the NDR lights, though this is not like a full-fledged NDR, but you have like 70-80% of the NDR in. You have the machine learning in. You have all of these platforms in, all of these capabilities in that gives you this threat detection and response and also compliance as quickly as possible. Why are we different? Why are we able to do all of those that we have claimed? We are able to do that because of our architecture. Most of the same solution to the market, their architecture is relational database. So that is why they cannot take enough of these logs. They cannot take enough of these flows. They will tell you, oh, don't send everything, because at the back end, they don't have the capacity to ingest all of this telemetry. In our own case, we use big data platform like Kafka, like Elasticsearch, Cassandra, Spark, Docker. These are microservices that is deployed right from our OVA. Everything is packaged together. You don't need to do anything. All you just need to do for us is to give us a server in your network, just a server. We deploy the OVA in, and from there, all of this will be there. Okay, and then you're done. But the architecture allow us to be able to ingest all of this data without the cost of the EPS or bandwidth. Okay, and with this, we're able to do fast streaming data. We're able to do real time, because now we are not just seeing the flow, the logs. We're seeing the flows and the logs in real time. Unlike other solutions, what they do, they get only the logs, a fraction of the flows. They will store before the process. The time is longer. In our own case, we get all the flows, We get all the logs. We process in real time before we start. So the difference here is that we can process in real time before we store the data, while the other guys, they store the data for us before the process because they don't have the capacity at the back end to do this real time. We have, because of our back end, we have Elasticsearch and all of these microservices. What are the use cases? Now, another big difference with our platform is that you don't need to write rules to dictate all of this. You're going to be seeing that very shortly now in the demo. You don't need to write rules. We have what we call threat models. Threat models, they are like rules which we have written before now to train the AI. Remember, we understand how the bad guys operate. When we see, a potential ransomware, for instance, when we see a botnet, for instance, we have an idea how these guys work. It doesn't just happen. It's a process. First, maybe a user visits access a particular server they've not accessed before. This particular server has an IP that is exposed to the internet on the public port, and there's a particular site that is a particular IP to a blacklisted site. Suddenly we can see that there's a change, okay, maybe in the logs or whatever of that platform. So these are events. Events are happening. With this event, the machine learning is able to correlate, say, oh, we can see that there's a potential ransomware here. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is just to click on it, understand what is going on, and take action. You're going to be seeing that in the demo very shortly. So all of these use cases we have right out of the box. You don't need to do anything. You don't even need to fine tune. It just works out of the box. Remember that we are getting logs and we're getting flows. Logs alone will never give you this, and that is why we get flows. And what you can also do, just to Google, what are the advantages of ingesting flows into your SIEM? So a SIEM without a flow is very, very limited. Very, very limited. But a SIEM with a flow gives you that complete, visibility, because logs gives you visibility to what has happened. Flows give you visibility to what is going on. And with the machine learning, we can even predict what will happen. As a bad guy, when I get to your network, I'm not a bad guy. I'm just as a bad guy. What I want to do is to clear the logs, disable the logs. The bad guys disable the log. You have no idea it's there. But the bad guys cannot disable the flow, because when it disable the flow, it means he kicks himself out of the network. Nobody want to do that. That is why we're saying get the flows and get the logs. While the bad guys can disable the logging, the bad guys can never disable the flows. So somehow we still have visibility to him, to what it's doing in your network. But if you only focus on the logs, then you've lost the battle before even the fight starts. All right. So that is why we get this together, and you are able to see all of these use cases. And some of the other organizations we have, first, I'm correct. One of the organizations we have deployed this into Nigeria. Not only Nigeria, we have a whole lot of organizations. Just 1 second. This is the old slide. I'm trying to show the slide here. Just bear with me. Okay, let's go on. You can see how do we deploy. I will come to the organization. The architecture, very simple. We have two components. One component sits in your environment. So if we are deploying this in any environment, we have a server, which is a VM, which we're going to give you the specs. CyberSecur we get across to you. They will get you a document called the sizing sheet. You fill the form, then they are able to let you know the specification of the server, 8 gig RAM, 16 gig RAM. It depends on what it is, but very simple stuff. This is deployed on premise. Now, all your log sources, your servers, your flows, they are configured to send logs and flows to these guys, all right, internally. And from there, we have the management of this platform in the cloud. Now, remember, the solution is not cloud SIEM. It's not cloud SIEM. The solution is cloud managed. It's cloud managed. And you define who've got access to your management. Okay. But the main raw log sits in Angola, sit in your country. So the issue of data privacy does not arise because your raw log is there. And for you to demonstrate compliance, we also have another server called the long-term storage. You can store logs up to 7 years in your environment. Okay. So what you're going to be seeing very shortly with Tunde is the UI, which is in the cloud. It can be in our private cloud or it can be in your own private cloud. That way, we're also able to offer the 24/7, 365 managed services, because this particular package comes with a managed service, which is going to be handled by CyberSecur and also by us. So we have full coverage into what is going on in your environment in terms of threat detection and response. Remember, is a SIEM, security events and information. So we're not seeing like emails, like data. No. It's just those metadata that we are able to. We run 24 hours SOC, okay, in conjunction with CyberSecure. So even while you're sleeping, you have people who they are watching over your environment. All right. So with that, I just want to talk about the customers that we have shortly. Some of the biggest names you're going to see around the world. I'm not sure why this is not showing up, but just bear with me. Let me see if I can show that again or share my screen. Okay. Let me know if you can see a new screen here. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Tab. Okay. Yes. Can you see this? Can you see the customer I'm sharing?
Not yet. It feels like you are a little bit freezing.
Okay. Now,
okay.
Can you see?
It's coming. Yeah, it's coming. Same slide.
Okay. It seems like it's frozen again, right? Okay. Okay, just bear with me. No, this is an old stuff. Okay, so let's see. Let's go again. Window. Okay, let me see entire screen. Not window. Okay, can you see now?
It's coming. Yep.
Okay, so as you can see, we have over 8,000 customers around the world. Some of the largest organizations you can see Airtel. Airtel uses our platform for the global SOC out of India. All right. And I believe that by the time we have more customers in Angola and you are going for training in India, one of the things we always make sure to do is that whenever our customers visit India, they visit this Airtel SOC, it's a global SOC. You have a whole lot of them. You have AX. It's a whole lot of organizations that uses the platform and not believe in us. So with this, I'm happy to take your questions and also take it forward, before we get to the demo. So it's demo time, but I'm happy to take your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Sunday. Let me check on the chat if we have any question. No question yet.
Okay, so at this time, I want to introduce Tunde. Tunde is our lead consultant, and the head of the technical team for SMSAM Systems. So he's going to be making the demonstration, which is the fun part of the solution. So sit back, relax, and bring all the questions. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I'll be sharing my screen now. Please confirm once you can see my screen. Can you confirm you can see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see. You can see us.
All right, great. Thank you very much. And good morning, everyone. Nice to meet you. Okay, so I think my boss has gone through, the technical parts of this call. So the whole essence for this will be to show you exactly how we do this, in live and in person. So Please, if there are any questions, please just drop it on the chat. I know my colleagues are here, my boss is also here, so we'll be taking answers in real time. So you can pause this demo at any point so that we can answer questions. That will be very much appreciated. What we have here is a demo of the Seceon AI SIM platform. And before I go into the details, one very beautiful feature I'd like to show is the fact that it supports translation. So if you have the Google Translate feature on your browser, you can easily translate this like I'm doing here right now to any language of your choice. Currently I'm doing this to Portuguese, and you can see that after translating, you can view everything on this platform in Portuguese. And I know this is a very, very useful feature for everyone who will be making use of this platform, because language definitely should not be a barrier. The idea is, technology has made a lot of things easier, and with AI SIM platform, we have, we are fully compliant with all of those translation techniques, and these are one of the things that we ensure that we are able to deliver for customers. I'm not a Portuguese. I don't speak Portuguese, so I wouldn't be able to, give this presentation in Portuguese as much as I would have loved to. So I'll switch back to English, and you bear with me. All right. So what we have here is the dashboard of the platform, and this is where most of the magic is done. But before I go into the dashboard, I'll just quickly take you down to the log flow collection, because it would make sense to see where we are getting all of the data that we are processing, okay, on this platform, and then we can now talk about what we are doing with the data we are collecting. All right, so here I've put this over the period of 7 days. Okay, and you can see how much data we are ingesting on this platform, just to make valid claims, validations to every claim that has been made during that presentation by my boss. So first off, you can see log counts. We have over 9 million logs ingested, and in flow counts, over 9 billion flow counts. Okay, now every other SIM solution would have a problem with this, because again, there is limit to the volume of what can be processed by most of these SIM solutions. And because we are doing in-memory processing, and we have large big data platforms, so we're able to process all of these things without any form of limitation whatsoever. So we are ingesting all of this from this demo platform. Okay, and you can see all the sources that are currently sending us these events to this platform. So if I click on log, for instance, then I can filter this table and tell you exactly how many devices are sending logs. So in the past 7 days, I'm ingesting logs from about 22 unique devices. If I filter to flow, right, you can see all the devices sending the flows, and right here you can see how much flows each of these devices are sending. Okay, so this is exactly how we ingest all these data that we are, again, coming back to the logs. You can see the unique devices. So if I filter this, you can see all those devices to tell you that we are able to ingest logs from several devices. We have that capability to pass all of these syslog log formats basically from this device. So you can see Office 365, you can see CyberSecur, Sonic Wall. So we are ingesting from both the cloud sources, the on-prem data sources, giving you full visibility into the full spectrum of everything that you have within your environment. That said, I can now go back to the performance dashboard, okay, and show you what we are doing with all of those data that we're ingesting. Let's start from here. This pyramid here, okay, tells you the breakdown of what we are seeing. So first of all, events analyzed. We've seen a total of 9.90 billion events. And what are these events? These are combinations of the flows and the logs. Okay, so all the flows, all the log combined, we have seen 9.90 billion. Okay, now from these events, how many detections have been made? These are threat indicators. Okay, so we've seen a total of 10.75 million threat indicators. Now, these threat indicators on any other SIM solution would have generated alerts. Okay, so your SOC team would have been dealing with 10.75 million alerts. Now, that's a problem, because you are dealing with false positives in large volumes. You are dealing with a load of alerts that you don't even know where to start from. And then this is where the first major problem of every other SIM solution comes in. You have to start doing manual fine-tuning. You have to start writing rules to define what would be an alert and what would not be an alert. However, However, on our SIM platform, without having to write rules whatsoever, leaving everything to the AI, you can see that we have automatically, okay, generated just 135 alerts. So on this platform, without writing rules, without doing any manual work whatsoever, the platform has seen these events, seen this detection, and decided that this is what the SOC team needs to leave their lunch and focus on. Again, beauty of our solution. My boss made serious emphasis on flows and the importance of flows. I'm going to show you some of the data that we're picking from NetFlow traffic that you can never pick from logs whatsoever. For instance, you can see traffic monitored. We're telling you we have seen a total of 1.31 petabytes of traffic. Now, from all of this traffic, we can tell you the total number of private hosts we are seeing in communications, the total number of external hosts, okay, the total top hosts that are having data uploads, okay, top public sites being accessed, top malicious hosts by flow counts, okay. So all of this data you're seeing here are generated because we are ingesting net flows, and all of these things are what will enrich every information that we're getting from the log to ensure that we deliver you with contextual alerts that ensures that your false positive are reduced to the barest minimum, if possible to zero. Okay, so this is basically how we do that, and you can see right here on the performance dashboard, we're showing you all of what we are ingesting. Okay, for instance, you can see all the cloud vendors that are currently integrated on this demo platform. So we have AWS, which is the Amazon Web Services, we have the Google Cloud Services, we have Oracle, and we have Azure. Okay, and you can see all of the breakdown. Because of time, I'm trying to keep this as brief as possible, but also as concise as I can. Okay, another thing that we are going to show you is the countries that are making communications. Okay, and that said, let me switch to the executive dashboard that would show you a much appealing view of everything we have in performance here. So here you can see this executive dashboard that also shows you how many events, how many threats, and how many alerts. Now on this map here, it gets a bit more interesting. You can see all the countries that are making communication with your environment. Okay, so in this case, for anything you see with the green lines, that's telling you that we are seeing traffic, okay, net flow traffic between that country and your organization. Where you see the blue lines, it tells you that we are seeing threat indicators from your countries from those countries to your organization. Again, at a glance, it gives you a clear view of everything that's happening and helps you to be able to position yourself, well enough to be able to secure your infrastructure and keep yourself, at a position where you can define what needs to be done without even having to, as much as lift a finger so much. First off, what visibility do you have into these countries that are making communications with your organization? Many organizations will tell you, oh, my firewall is blocking, I have everything under control, until you start to see all of this information. If you are ingesting just logs, you cannot get this amount of visibility. Only the net flow traffic is what will give you this level of visibility, and this is part of what we deliver on this platform. You can also see here from the executive dashboard the total list of devices. Okay, so unique devices that are sending logs and flows. You can see all of them right here. Again, top alerts here. I'll leave this, because I think this is pretty much clear, and go straight to alerts. So on the alert dashboard, you can see, the breakdown of the alerts. Okay, so how many critical alerts have we seen in the past 7 days? 55. Okay, how many total alerts, critical and major, have we seen? 135. Okay, so how many major alerts? 80. How many minor alerts? 15. Again, we want you to put emphasis on the things that are important. So the emphasis will be on the major and the critical. Okay, so you can see all of that information. Again, one of the beauty of the platform is it allows you to be able to be flexible with how you want to handle this alert. That said, let's go straight to the alert analysis and show you some of the capabilities of this platform in terms of how we are, positioning your SOC team to be able to handle threats, proactively and not reactively. Let's start with this. Okay, look at here. Open alerts by severity. You can see major alerts, you can see critical alerts. So if you are deciding that what you want to start with is a critical alert, which is the recommended step, then you do this. Okay, click on critical alerts. It's going to filter this table and show you what is critical. Another thing is what we call the UDA, user defined alerts. So again, remember I said all of the alerts on the platform are automatically generated by the platform using AI, okay, and what we call our dynamic threat models. Okay, so in situations where there are additional things that you as a team would want to get, contextual alerting on, you are able to define what we call user defined alerts, and you can also filter that right here. Finally, assigned alerts. Okay, so you can assign an alert to a member of the SOC team. So let's say your SOC team consists of 5 people. Okay, and for responsibility of a breakdown of duties, you want to assign alerts to certain members of the SOC team so that we know who is responsible for what. You can do that manually. You can also do that automatically using our SOA feature. Now, before we go into that, let me open one of these alerts for you and show you some of the magic that we have on this platform. First off, this is the information that we deliver on this platform, on this platform regarding an alert. Okay, first off, the summary of that alert. You can see the time it was generated. Okay, the alert type, severity here. What's the sources that generated the information that brought up this alert? First off, you can see network, and you can also see machine learning. Okay, and then the summary of the alert. Okay, what happened? What's the entity involved? Again, how do we map this alert to the MITRE tactics and techniques? Because again, this would help your SOC team with deciding what the next course of action would be, okay, and how to treat such alert. Because when you're able to match with the MITRE technique framework, then it helps you to be able to, put the right amount of emphasis on what matters. So first off, anything you see in red here, okay, is what has been flagged on the MITRE technique. So you can see all of that here. Finally, what are the threat indicators? Because when it comes to our platform, we're not just giving you alerts without context. So here we have told you we have seen suspicious IoT device activity. What are the things that we saw before deciding that this is a suspicious IoT device activity? First off, we saw a single port scan across the network. Secondly, we saw new connection between two hosts. And then finally, we saw unusual number of bytes between two hosts. Now, all of these alerts we are getting wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have flows coming into the platform. 1. 2, wouldn't have been possible if we didn't have machine learning enabled. And 3, wouldn't have been possible if we did not have the AI feature, embedded in this platform. So all of these features come together to give you the enrichment that you get right here. So with all of this, you can see all the information, and seasoned SOC experts can be able to go in, to dig deeper. How do you dig? You can click on this, for instance, and say, I want to see the raw data format. You see all of that right here. Okay, so you can see in the raw data format all the details you need to have about that single transaction. What's the port? Okay, what's the number of bytes that was involved? Where is the destination? Where's the source IP? What's the source IP address space? All of the information you get to see here. A new feature that we have on this platform, which I'm going to show, and is one of the things I would be very proud of in this platform, very new, is the Sarah AI. And this is a very, very brilliant addition to the Seceon platform by the OEM. Okay, and what does this do? It allows you to take your mind off having to do manual, threat hunting. So here I just click on Sarah AI, and it's going to give me the summary of everything that I have on this alert. Okay, so yes, the information has been generated. The alert is there. So instead of me having to dig deeper to understand what the alert is, just by clicking on Sarah AI, it's able to summarize and analyze the alert and give me the next course of action. Okay, I'm waiting for this to load up in a couple of seconds. Yeah, so you can see. Okay, see the overview. Okay, explains what the alert is, tells me the severity, tells me what the key observations are. Okay, explains the MITRE technique analysis to me, shows me the potential MITRE attacker groups, okay, and then the associated threat indicators, okay, all the information is summarized here, and then it goes ahead to give me the recommendations and the capability highlight. So I'll translate this back to Portuguese so that you get to have a feel of this in your native language. So look at this and see how brilliant it makes the SIM platform to work for you. So here you can see all of that in one single click. So you have an alert that you did not have to manually write how to manually fine tune whatsoever. You didn't need to write any rules. And now, with one single click, the platform is also giving you the summary of that alert, explaining what is happening to you, and also providing you with recommendations. Okay, that is just one of the numerous capabilities of these features. Now, going beyond all of this summary, we also enable you to take action. All right. And how do we take action? Let me switch back to English. Okay. So how do we take action? You can see here we have remediate. Okay. So if I were to hit on remediate, it's currently not supported for this particular. So we have categories of alerts that can be remediated and ones that cannot be remediated. Okay. So in this case, I can decide I want this, alert to be automatically treated by my playbook going forward. And I'm going to show that. And this would explain the SOA feature of this platform. So if I come in here and say update playbook, okay, it's going to come down here and then provide me with the playbook capabilities to enable this alert. So here I can now decide what do I want to do. Okay, so I set a trigger here to say immediately. Okay, meaning that as soon as that alert is generated for suspicious IoT device activity alerts, what do I want the platform to do automatically? First off, I can say I want the platform to assign this, okay, to a member of my SOC team. So I can do this, okay, automatically come in here, select or put the email of the user I want to assign this to. All right. Another action I can do is I can say, okay, I want an email to be sent. Okay, I need the alert, the SOA to send notification emails. Okay, so I do this. Notice how all of these are going to be happening concurrently. Okay, simultaneously happening in real time without you having to do any of these things manually anymore. So all you do is come in to set this playbook once, and then thereafter the platform kicks in. Another beautiful feature of this SOA is allowing you to take remediation action. Okay, so here I can decide I want to send this to my firewall. Let's assume I use a FortiGate firewall. Okay, so I can come down here and then go ahead to map this up. So I can come in here, select which of my FortiGate firewalls has been set up as a remediator, and then come down to say what action do I want to do. So let's say I want to block the IP and I hit done. So when I click on deploy, this automatically takes action. So going forward, every time there is an alert on suspicious IoT device activity alert, okay, what's going to happen? The SOA is going to kick in immediately. Okay, first off, it's going to assign the alerts. At the same time, it's going to send an email notification to the users that are specified here. And then finally, it's going to send that alert to the firewall to say block the IP. So these are the features that the this same solution brings to your organization. So beyond just keeping you at the point where you're having a SIM solution platform to meet compliance, now you're having a SIM solution that actually delivers true security. So you have moved from being compliant to being proactively secure, okay, in your approach to cyber security in your organizations. Finally, one other feature that we have here is what we call the auto remediation. Okay, so in the auto remediation here, you have a workflow that allows the platform to automatically kick in at specific times. So I'll give you an example. Let's say I want this platform to automatically deal with everything that relates to botnet traffic. Okay, so I can come in here and say if an alert is generated that is critical and major with a risk score of 70 and above, okay, where the alert is botnet detected, right? And then I come in here to set the schedule. Now, I want this to happen on the weekend when my SOC team is not available. So I say between Sunday and Monday, and then over the weekend from Friday to Saturday and Saturday to Sunday, and then I hit done all day. Okay, so what do I want to do? In this case, I want to kill the process and at the same time quarantine the hosts. Okay, what remediator device do I want to do? I want to use my FortiGate firewall again. All right. And then finally, on what asset groups? So let's say all my asset groups. Okay. When I do this and hit save, it then means that based on the condition sets that I have put on this auto remediation, the platform automatically takes effect whenever the conditions here are met. So the first condition is the time. Okay, so is it within the time frame when the auto remediation should take place? Yes, then it's going to start. So when we have an alert for botnet detected that is critical or major and the confidence score is 70 and above, it's is going to go ahead, to kill this process on all these asset group. This again is another beauty of this AI sim platform. And then finally, before I wrap this up, I have about 2 minutes left. Um, One of the other features that we have here, I might not be able to go into details here, are the reporting. Okay, so you can see we have security posture report. Okay, that delivers you with an executive security posture on what's happening on the platform. Everything that you need for reporting. We also have our compliance reports, the operations reports. Okay, investigation reports, and quite a whole lot of reports. So again, we would only be able to show this by the time we are having a full-on POV on the of this platform with your team. So we expect that you would engage the team to ensure that you get to see this live in action in your own environment. Okay, and finally, the threat hunting. Okay, so we have two ways to do threat hunting, and I'll start with the simpler one using the MITRE page. Okay, so using this MITRE page, you can see everything in red. Okay, these are things that have happened within your environment based on the events that we have processed over the time period that you're looking at. So for instance, let's say I want to look at active scanning. What are the events that have matched active scanning on this environment? If I come down here, I'm going to see all of that. So you can see I'm seeing web recon, I'm seeing single port scan across the network. If I hit on this filter here, I can see the full range of activity. So there's been an IP scan, there's been series of telnet scans, web recons, and all the likes. So these are things that matches the MITRE tactic that we selected. Finally, we also have the use of the query builder. So I can decide I want to look for certain event types. Okay, so in this case, you can see all of these different event types that we're seeing: ARP spoof, abnormal database, accounts created, and the like. So let me just use this example and I wrap it up here. So I'm looking out for accounts created, and I want to do this for a specific source data type. So let's say I want to see all the accounts that are created on Windows environment. Okay, so I'm going to come down here and select MS Window. Okay, and update this. Okay, so on this demo platform, we don't have an account creation. Let's see if I increase this to 180 days. Maybe I have something to show. Yes. All right, cool. So in this case, these are the accounts that have been created. So let's pick this for instance, and I'll show you, what we have on the raw data format. So here you can see an account creation. Who created the account? That is the S user, source user in this case. So the user who did the account creation is administrator. Which account was created? That's the D user, destination user. That's the account that was created. In this case, it is Priyarami. Okay, and you can see the action here: user accounts created. What's the outcome? It was successful. Okay, so these are information. You can see the timestamp, date, and time for this account creation. So again, this is just a sample. There are several other, workarounds we can have to show you, events that are happening in real time and historically on the platform. That said, I think I can wrap this demo. And if there are any questions, you can bring them on now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for that brief session. We are mindful of the time. We don't want to keep people too long. We want to make sure we deliver this under 50 minutes so we can have more time for question and answer. And I think that's what we've just done now. So, Alfonso, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Babatun, for brilliant presentation. So we'd
Thank
like
you.
to remember everyone in the session that we are open for question and answer. Please feel free to drop your question in this session and chat. I don't see any question till now. I'd like to remember you can post. Okay, great. We have question from Miguel. I'd like to understand better the AI integration in the platform, says Miguel. Miguel san. Thank you, Miguel, for your question. It's very interesting question.
Okay, very good. So, thank you, Miguel, for that question. So, like we stated, right? You see, the bad guys we are trying to defend against, they use AI against us. They leverage AI to plan their attacks and also launch their attacks. They use scripts, they use automated tools, and we as defenders, we cannot afford to sit back and the writing rules. I mean, that doesn't work anymore. So we also have to incorporate AI into our own DNA in terms of fighting back these guys. And what AI will do for us is to be able to look through the enormous data that we have on the network. Remember, you have a whole lot of logs coming in from your devices, from your, domain controllers, logs from your firewalls, logs from your database servers, flows again from your firewalls. So this data, they are just too much, too many for you to be writing rules, because writing rules is manual, and you are hoping that you're going to dictate one thing or the other. But again, when the bad guy clear the logs, then the cards will just fall flat. So with AI is able to look through the enormous data set that we're getting, both logs and flows, and within a few moments, with limited time, it's able to do the analysis for you and help in the analysis. How I describe AI is like you're going to a 20-story building. I don't know how the longest building in Luanda. Maybe the longest building is like 25 or I don't know 30 floors. There are many ways to get to the 30th floor. Let's say you have 30 floor. You can use the elevator, you can use the escalator, and you can work through the steps. You will still get there, but one is easier and one is better. All right. So when you use the escalator or you use the elevator or you walk down there, if you can't do that, then you still get at the top. So that is where the AI brings. The AI just makes the threat detection very, very, very much easier, and also make the threat, the remediation of those threats that we've detected also very, very much, easier without draining on the security team. So this is why we include AI into what we do in terms of threat detection and also threat response. Did I answer the questions, Michael?
Okay, Miguel says, thank you. Understood. Thank you, Miguel.
Okay, guys, there are any other questions?
So come again, please. Oh, we have another question from Antonio Manuel. Antonio says, let me with some time.
Okay,
Okay.
I can
Also
answer.
about AI, Antonio, can you see?
Yeah, I can see.
Right.
I can
Okay.
answer.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, and I also know that Fernando Bolule has a question. So please, Fernando, go ahead. I will answer Antonio. Antonio, thank you very much for your question. Yes, you were saying that is the LLM model installed locally or in the cloud? Very, very good question. So remember that we have the component that we deploy on premise, which is we call the CCE, and this CCE comes prepackaged. It comes with prepackaged, OVA. So in that prepackaged OVA, we have the unsupervised machine learning via the LLM model on that. So it's on premise. Okay, we have that on premise. So it is the flows, especially the flows we are getting from your firewalls, okay, and also the identity logs like the DNS and the DHCP that we now use to treat that, LLMN. Sorry. Okay, so these identity logs, these DHCPs, and the flows, they are the data set that is required to train this model. And with time, of course, it gets better. So the training period minimum start 8 days. If we deploy today, 8 days from now, the AI will kick in. That does not mean that the solution will not work until 8 days. It start working out of the box. But the AI part will start getting its job done from the 8th day, because we have to also monitor the environment. We have to learn and keep learning. So yes, it's on premise. The one in the cloud, which you saw a while ago, is just for the management of the platform. But the main thing happened on premise. Did I answer that question, Antonio? And Fernando, please go ahead with your question. The platform works as a firewall? No. Fernando, the platform doesn't work as a firewall. What the platform does is that the platform can integrate with a firewall to take action. So let's say we see an alert, like a network-based alert, like DNS tunneling or potential ransomware. We can integrate your firewall to take action if you want it to take action automatically or to take action manually. So we can set it up to take action to say, if you see this alert between 5 p.m., maybe you close by 5 p.m., so you're not in the office by 5 p.m., but this alert happened on your network, we can configure the firewall to shut down the port, shut down the IP or the domain automatically. Now, if you are in the office, let's say it happens around 3 p.m., 2 p.m., you can say, okay, send me an alert so that I can investigate and take action manually because you're in the office. But if you're not in the office, like maybe 6 or 7 p.m., you can say from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. or 6 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the morning. When this alert happen, firewall take action or the EDR should take action. Fernando, is that clear? Okay, guys, please keep the questions coming. Is this action operate on network or also on endpoint? Great, Antonio. Yes, it does on both. So if we integrate with our EDR, then we can take action on the endpoint or on your firewall. Now, if you have a different EDR, that will depend on how the EDR is integrated. There are some EDRs, they don't have open AI. Now, remediation is different from getting logs. We can get logs from any EDR, just ingest logs. But for us to use those EDR as a remediation or a remediator, like when Tune was making that uh, demo, it shows you how to configure remediator, right? So that if the API, let's say you use Sophos, for instance, or uses Fortinet, for instance, and the Fortinet API is open, we can integrate with that so that we're able to take action. If the API is not open, then we can only use our own EDR to take action of this at the endpoint. For the network, we can take action with any firewall that we integrate. So did I answer the question? Okay. So guys, just before I leave, I believe that Alfonso will also tell you guys we have a training from Seceon that is starting today. It's a 3-day training. I have just typed in the link, okay, which you guys anybody can register. It's a global training. I think Alfonso too has this link. You can also share. So we encourage as many people as possible to join. Arena, you can send it to all the folks on the call. Register so that we can get your link. It's a global training over 3 days for both partners and customers. This is where Seceon will be telling, and showcasing new features and also training on some of the things that we have just said today. But now in a much more deeper, we have 3 days. So unlike this one that we have less than, we're almost 1 hour now. People have to go back to work and all of that. But this happens over 3 days, beginning from today, I think around 1 p.m. or so. That's when the training starts. About 5 or 6 hours per day for 3 days. Very, very interesting. I encourage you guys to just sign in and if you cannot even be part of the live training, once you sign in, you have recording that you can send over to you and you can watch over later. So thank you very much for your questions. Please, if you still have more, I know we're exactly 1 hour now, even though we started like 3 minutes late, but we are at least on time. So please, any questions, keep it coming, or you can reach out to Alfonso Arena and the team, and we're right here to support you.
Yeah, brilliant. So before we wrap up, thank you once again, everyone. And if you'd like to set up a session for POV, it is for free. You can set up maybe 15 days POC in your environment. You can try it for free, and we can arrange a session to do that for free for you. So just reach out for CyberSecur, and we are happy to help you in order to try this amazing platform, and we're gonna do the training. So okay. Okay, Irina. So, Irina is asking me to say it in português. Pessoal, nós precisamos de dizer que estamos muito felizes por terem participado deste evento e se estiverem interessados numa apresentação e numa POV, podem contactar a CyberSecure. Nós vamos ter o prazer de marcar uma apresentação e também, se quiserem experimentar a plataforma sem custos durante 15 dias ou um pouquinho mais, estaremos muito dispostos a ajudá-lo nesse sentido. E uma vez mais, obrigado a todos. Thank you so much, Mr. Sunday, and thank you as well, Babatun, for your demonstration. And that's all for today.
All right. Thank you very much, everybody. And I look forward to seeing you in Angola sometimes in November or before then. So let's win together. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alfonso. Thank you.